Humans do not decide to wear masks. Masks are built for survival. Slowly, quietly, starting in childhood. A child does not understand psychology. A child understands safety, and safety shapes behavior. When honesty is ignored, silence is learned. When emotions are punished, control develops. This is where the mask begins. When fear is mocked, performance replaces authenticity. The mask is not deception. It is defense. Most people are not showing personality. They are showing protection. Whatever once kept them safe, confidence is often armor. Kindness can be survival. Humor can hide pain. Words are always edited. Behavior rarely is. That is why truth leaks. Silence is never empty. It is full of information. What is avoided speaks loudly. Comfort hides reality. Pressure reveals it. Masks crack under stress. Reactions are rarely about the present. They are echoes of the past. Old wounds speaking. People believe they see others, but often they see their own fears. And call it personality. Fear drives most human behavior. Logic comes later. Fear comes first. Overtexting is not obsession. It is fear of being forgotten. Silence feels like abandonment. Ghosting is not carelessness. It is fear of confrontation. Disappearing feels safer. People-pleasing is not kindness. It is fear of rejection. Saying no feels dangerous. Overworking is not ambition. It is fear of stillness. Stillness awakens old wounds. Abandonment fear is ancient. Once, isolation meant death. The body still remembers. That is why rejection feels physical. Being ignored hurts deeply. Silence threatens existence. Some become useful to survive. Some become perfect. All are adapting. Control hides fear of judgment. Avoidance hides fear of rejection. Every mask hides a fear. Boundaries expose insecurity. Healthy people respect them. Fearful people resist them. People lie to themselves first, tend to others. Self-deception is protection. Every behavior makes sense when fear is identified, not judged. Every human has a shadow. The parts that were rejected and hidden. Anger, jealousy, and control never disappear. They wait beneath awareness. The shadow expresses itself through projection. What is denied inside is seen outside. People accuse others of what they cannot face themselves. Strong reactions are moments of recognition. Something inside has been exposed. The ego panics when identity is threatened. Defense becomes automatic. Manipulation rarely begins as evil. It begins as unmet need. Direct honesty once felt unsafe, so indirect behavior replaced it. People hint instead of asking. They use guilt instead of clarity. Silence becomes a weapon. Distance becomes control. Power attracts the wounded. Control creates an illusion of safety. Loss triggers panic. Because safety feels fragile. Morality can become armor. Right versus wrong replaces reflection. Judgment protects the ego. Self-examination feels dangerous. Threatened identity becomes loud. Noise replaces awareness. Familiar pain feels safer than freedom because it is predictable. Unfamiliar peace feels threatening. Chaos feels like home. Patterns repeat without awareness. The shadow remains in control. Integration is the only exit. What is accepted loses power. Trauma is not what happened to you. Trauma is what stayed inside afterward. The mind moves faster than the nervous system. Understanding does not equal healing. Patterns repeat silently. Because wounds remain unseen, emotional numbness is learned. Feeling once became unsafe. Detachment became protection. Distance felt safer than connection. Attachment styles are survival strategies, not personality flaws. They formed early to adapt to environment. Familiar pain feels normal. Calm feels unfamiliar. Chaos feels like home. Peace feels suspicious. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Recognition happens subconsciously. We are drawn to what feels familiar, even when it hurts. Healing threatens identity. Old roles begin to collapse. Fear resists change because certainty disappears. Unprocessed trauma becomes control or anger. Sometimes it becomes exhaustion or numbness. Healing requires grief for what was lost, for who you had to become. To survive. Eventually, awareness turns inward. Patterns feel familiar. Discomfort rises. Recognition begins. You are never only observing masks. You are wearing one, and it worked. That is why it stayed. The mask was built slowly, through adaptation, through survival, not deception. You learned when to speak and when to hide. You learned when to perform and when to disappear. Most choices are repetitions. Old survival decisions replayed. They feel like freedom, but are memory. Reactions belong to the past, not the present. The body responds first. Thought follows later. Pain lives in the nervous system, not in logic. Thinking cannot erase it. Presence can. Responsibility replaces blame. Power returns. Excuses collapse. Awareness stabilizes. Some return to distraction. Comfort feels safer. Truth feels heavy. Sote livi. Others stay present. They allow collapse. Identity dissolves. Space appears. Emptiness is not failure, it is transition. Grief follows naturally. For unmet needs, for lost safety, for lost time. Boundaries become clear, not walls. Filters, not defenses. Validation loses power. Presence replaces performance, where it stabilizes internally, not externally. Reactions slow down. Choice returns. Awareness deepens. Control fades. Some relationships end. Otere se volve. Growth changes rooms. Not everyone follows. Strength becomes quiet. No performance needed. Compassion becomes grounded, not reactive. The mask loosens. No longer required. It becomes optional, not identity. Awareness does not simplify life. It makes it real and irreversible. Once seen, the mask cannot rule again. Freedom begins.